Charlie Kirk is a divisive figure, polarizing, lightning rod, whatever term you want to use.
It's been a while since I have sat behind this microphone and been legitimately pissed off, angry. I'm normally a happy dude, happily married, got a great family, love what I do here every day. Most days, I have no reason to be angry. I think the last time I was pissed off about something here on the channel is when Dennis Allen apologized to the Atlanta Falcons. Obviously, the anger I felt that day pales in comparison to the anger that I'm feeling this afternoon. I had planned on having another fun afternoon with you guys here on the channel. We were going to talk about cackling Cam Harris and her betrayal of our former fearless leader, Johnny B. Biden. As I was finishing my prep for that video, my phone started vibrating incessantly. Text, emails, DMs. Dozens of you guys were reaching out to me to notify me that our good friend Charlie Kirk was shot at one of his Turning Point USA events in Utah. I had actually had this video ready and I was uploading it, but then I found out that Charlie Kirk had tragically died. A loving husband, a father of two young children, loses his life at 31 years old. And for what? For what? Because some asshole who doesn't agree with him politically didn't think Charlie Kirk deserved to raise his children? Didn't think Charlie Kirk deserved to live? Oh, and believe me, once you see the asshole who is supposedly responsible for this, allegedly responsible for this, you're going to be disgusted. For those that don't know, Charlie Kirk was the founder of Turning Point USA. I'm sure Donald Trump would agree with what I'm about to say. Charlie Kirk was one of the main reasons that Donald Trump was able to secure the youth vote. Over the last decade, Charlie Kirk has been incredibly influential with young people. Every year, he toured college campuses across the country, spoke with college kids, many of which paid six figures to be indoctrinated with the rancid woke fungus. But because of his work, because of Charlie Kirk's dedication, millions of college kids across America had woken up, no pun intended. Millions of college kids had realized that America was not the problem. Their parents are not the problem. They've realized that one of the biggest threats to this country is deacons at Woke United Methodist, many of which are their college professors, and an overwhelming majority of the deacons hold prominent positions throughout the mainstream media. I don't know about you guys, I am sick of the media. As you heard in the clip at the beginning of the video, and believe me, there's more. As you heard in the clip, minutes after Charlie Kirk was shot, the despicable assholes at MSNBC are describing him as a divisive figure. How was Charlie Kirk divisive? Because he was a Christian? Because he believed in traditional marriage, traditional values? Because he refused to believe that a man can stick his noodle in his boodle and impregnate himself? Is that what made Charlie Kirk divisive? Charlie Kirk wasn't divisive. The mainstream media is divisive. Remember last summer when there were attempts on the Trumper's life? Not once, but twice. You guys remember that? For a brief moment, the mainstream media was lecturing us about toning down the rhetoric. Words are dangerous. We should tone down the rhetoric. Let's be friends. Ironically enough, they weren't wrong. The problem is, the media refused to follow their own advice. We used to live in a country where Democrats and Republicans disagreed on political issues, but when it came to fundamental issues, when it came to values, both sides, for the most part, were in agreement. Unfortunately, that country no longer exists. And the reason it no longer exists is because the Democratic Party has been 100% infected with the woke fungus. For the third time in 14 months, A conservative leader's life has been in danger and now taken at the hands of someone who supposedly belongs to the party of tolerance. You know, I'm kind of tired of tolerance. Tolerance only works if it's coming from both sides. And it is abundantly clear at this point, deacons at Woke United Methodist are not tolerant. They hate America. They hate what the country stands for. They hate anyone who disagrees with them. These are miserable people whose only purpose is to spread their misery to everyone else. Obviously, there's a simple solution to the problem. If you don't like it here in America, get the fuck out. You don't have to announce your departure. Just leave. I don't give Rose O'Donnell credit for very much, but at least Rose O'Donnell had the decency to take her misery over to Ireland. Supposedly, allegedly, and I don't know if this is true. There's been kind of conflicting reports on this, but there were reports earlier that this was the man responsible for shooting Charlie Kirk. Like I said, I don't know if this is true, but these were reports from earlier. But according to MSNBC, they want us to believe that Trump supporters are the problem. Minutes after it was reported that Charlie Kirk had been shot, MSNBC speculated that the gunshots could have been celebratory in nature. Watch for yourself.
Yeah, and again, to emphasize what you just emphasized, we don't know any of the full details of this. That we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration.
Let me make sure I'm understanding you correctly. You expect me to believe that a Trump supporter was shooting his gun in celebration and accidentally hit Charlie Kirk? You really can't hate the media enough. I am sick of the media. And imagine my surprise when I found out that the media wanted to blame guns for this. Minutes after this happened, MSNBC was blaming Utah for having permissive gun laws. Watch it for yourself.
Just to give you guys a sense of the gun laws in Utah, there's constitutional carry. This is of May 2021. Individuals 21 or older can legally own a gun and carry it openly or concealed in public without a permit. Again, no permit is required or needed to buy or possess a firearm. There's no waiting period, no state-mandated time period for firearm purchases. Utah does not require the registration of firearms. Both open and concealed carry of loaded firearms without a permit are legal, again, for those 21 and over. So it is a very permissive state.
Millions of people own guns in this country. Matter of fact, I think there are more guns in America than people. Yet every time this happens, and most of the time, in the vast majority of cases, at least recently, it's been parishioners at Woke United Methodist responsible for gun violence. And every time it happens, the media doesn't want to blame the suspect. They want to blame the gun. Ironically enough, I've yet to see one person in the media blame the knife for taking the life of the young Ukrainian woman in North Carolina. Another tragic case where the mainstream media coverage has been absolutely disgusting. Hell, in that case, CNN was almost trying to turn the suspect into a sympathetic victim. We must show compassion. He's had a hard life. One of my good friends had one of the most difficult upbringings imaginable. Raised by a single father who was an alcoholic, grew up dirt poor. When we were 19 years old, he was randomly attacked while we were leaving Mardi Gras, and he was just sitting in his car. It was a case of mistaken identity. The dude who attacked him thought he was someone else. He spent years paying off medical bills because he didn't have health insurance. A couple of years later, driving home from work one night, hit by a drunk driver. Guess what the drunk driver didn't have? Insurance. For years, my friend struggled with substance and alcohol problems. Today, he's finally sober, happily married. But through all those years of struggle, you know how many times he hurt someone else? None. Zero. He was a danger to himself, but he never took out his problems on someone else. He never wanted to be the victim. He never expected your sympathy. So why in the hell should I give my sympathy to someone who takes the life of a young Ukrainian woman for absolutely no reason? As I was preparing this video, I've had MSNBC on in the background in the studio. Obviously, with this being MSNBC, everyone is bald, including the women. Some aging doofus on MSNBC was blaming Charlie Kirk for his own shooting. You can't say awful things and not expect awful things to happen to you. You can't hate the media enough. I don't understand it. If you hate America so much, why are you here? I don't know about you guys, but if I'm miserable living somewhere, if I'm somewhere I'm not wanted, and believe me, the media is no longer wanted here in America. You don't have to take my word for it. Just go look at their ratings. America has rejected the woke media. But if I am miserable living somewhere, I'm not going to spread my misery to everyone else. I'm not going to tear down their house and make it my own. If I'm miserable, I'm going to leave. I'm going to go somewhere I can be happy. So why won't the mainstream media do the same thing? Why won't they follow the lead of Rose O'Donnell and pursue their happiness elsewhere? There are dozens of socialist countries in the world. There are plenty of communist countries. If that's the way you want to live, go live over there, but don't bring that shit over here. Pray for Charlie Kirk's family tonight, his lovely wife, his 2 young children who deserve to have their father in their lives while they were growing up. It's a heartbreaking story. Charlie Kirk loses his life over his beliefs. See you guys tomorrow.